Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, and welcome to Thursday. And of course, being 1 PM, it's time for issue 64 of the DeAgostini Modelspace Build Your Own X-Wing Partwork Build-Up. Yes! And of course, before we get going, I need to do a little disclaimer, transparency and all that this build is being provided to me by DeAgostini Modelspace free of charge, gratis, no cost to me. So I need to make sure you're aware of that before we get going. All views are my own, but I am being provided this free of charge. So today we're looking at issue 64, and I think it's more Cockpit and Gefahrten stuff today. Let's have a look and see. And as always, I've not pre-read this, so I don't know what's in. That's a very shonky looking old, wow, that's been in somebody's toy cupboard for like 40 years. Wow, look at that. This is the original die-cast metal and high-impact plastic version of the TIE Fighter. I didn't have one of those, but my friends did. I had a metal and plastic snowspeeder. I loved it. It was great. It was fantastic. But yeah, I never had a TIE Fighter. So we're still looking at toy TIE Fighters. 3 magazines you've stretched this out to. That's pretty good. Micro collection stuff. Many more things. So lots of toy versions there. All interesting. Then we have an article on Mart Martini, Iron Squadron Leader. Is this Rebels? I don't remember Matt. This isn't that rubbish series that wasn't written. No, because he's not overly cel shaded. I'm not sure what series this is. I'm a little confused. It's got the look of Rebels. Oh, it's on Lothal. Okay, yeah, it's Lothal. There's Chopper. You can see there's Chopper. Yeah, you go. I clearly don't remember. There's so much. Like I said before in a previous episode, I tend to like all these series. I tend to watch them all in one go, like over a period of a week or so. Watch all the episodes and binge out. So it does mean I kind of forget. Now, Rebels I've only watched through once. I've not had a chance to rewatch it yet. So it's been a couple of years now, and a lot of things I've forgotten. So I had no memory of him at all. So there you go. But yeah, it's Rebels. And Rebels is almost as good as Clone Wars, but not quite. Clone Wars is the best. Rebels is almost as good. And that other thing, garbage. Then we're on to there's no little glamour shot, I'm afraid. So there you go, straight into the buildage. We have the pilot seat. We'll need to paint and weather that, make it look worn. We have the cockpit parts that we built up last time. We're adding greebles and details to them. That thing there, that is a Graflex camera attachment, flash attachment. The same thing the lightsabers are made out of. On the real full-size set that, you know, Mark Hamill sat in and wiggled around to look at like he was in the Starfighter, that's a Graflex flash thing for a camera. So just thought I'd give you that little bit of information. So more cockpit stuff, and then we're mounting it into that piece of the shell. How this goes together will determine what I can do with the cockpit when it comes to painting. I think it might just be a case of get it all installed and stick with the factory paint job that's already on it and just weather it up. I will repaint that. I've repainted that one piece, of course, obviously, but the rest of it, I think we'll just stick with the factory paint job because it'll look just as good with all the factory paint job, just once it's got some weathering on it. So we'll sort that out. And then on the back, we have a shot of Green Squadron, an X-Wing from Green Squadron. So there you go. Anyway, that's issue 64. Let me shut the hell up because I've been talking rubbish. I need more coffee. And it's not that I make the same cup of coffee in my Time Team mug every time. I film all these in one go. So, yeah, it's only been about 20 minutes since the last one. Anyway, Time Team. Let's crack on. Okay, so let's get busy. Now, the first thing we need to do is, if you remember in the last issue, we built this much of the instrument panel. We need to add some more little greebles and details. We do get this funky seat in this week's issue, but you're not going to do anything with that yet. Now, this will need weathering, possibly painting, but definitely weathering later on. And it is some kind of weird squishy rubber. So I don't know how we're going to do it. That might require some special activities later on, but we'll figure that out. I'm hoping that once we get all this cockpit assembled, when it comes to weathering this cockpit, I can take it apart again in bits. Hopefully it's take apartable. If not, I could probably get to most of it while it's in place, but you know, hey. Anyway, let's crack on. So we've got these little bits to add today, and for once the clamshell is not haranguing me. The clamshell is behaving and letting me get it off straight away. So there we go. No bits in the top piece. Yes, check your clamshells, ladies. And a little bit there sticking in the bottom to get off. So look at that. Watch this. Watch this. Watch that. Ready? Oh, it fell out that time. Oh well. It kept going back in every time it fell out. We're going to have to watch that. That's a very tiny piece, and it's going to make me swear, probably. But we'll just put it there. Put it to one side. Don't forget that little tiny piece. They're just taunting me now. So, let's get these bits done, shall we? I've got some tweezers ready. Where are they? There they are. Suspect I might need those. I've got my knife as well, in case we need to loosen any holes, because we did find a few of those were a bit of a tight fit last time, so we'll see how it goes. Right, so fit the round pin A into the hole outlined in yellow. Oh, we've got a round pin. Straight away we're doing this tiny one. Okay. This round pin A that has a massive great nub on one side. Fantastic. Literally the size of a rice. And I'm now expected to clean up a nub on it. Yeah. See what I can do. Where's my reversible tweezers? You probably can't even see it on camera. I can barely see it in front of me. And I get that mid reversible tweezers. And there is a tiny little bit of nub or flash on the top there. Now, it would be easy to do this in situ, to be honest. I'm just thinking about it. Why don't I get it in place first and then I can do it? Yeah, it might be easier, Fox. Right. This needs to go here. Okay, so that needs to somehow be able to be grabbed in tweezers and also go into the hole. This can go one of two ways. You may start your landings now. Yeah, I knew it was going to go that way. That was one of the ways it could go. La la la. Let's go another 45-minute episode. Oh no, there we go. That is in. Pushing. Yes. Now, that's quite loose. So, first thing I'm going to do is deal with that little bit of flash, which I can now access quite easily. Remember, we are going to do some. This is going to expose the white plastic underneath, but we are going to do some touch-up work on these, so it's not the end of the world. Do some touch-up and some weathering on the cockpit components. I'm very careful, just try and sand it down a touch. That's probably enough, actually. Tiny bit of sand. There we go. Perfect. But of course, it's very loose. I can't get in there now because I've screwed the bottom plate on. What I might do, actually, you know what I might be worth doing? I'm going to actually, I know it's heresy to do this, I'm going to unscrew what we screwed. Remember how we screwed all this together? I'm going to undo that. I don't know why we have to keep them together. I don't think we do, not for the moment. I think all these panels can go on without this attached, so I'm going to put these there. This can go one of two ways. Again, this can be a really good idea or a really dumb idea. Let's try and find out which, eh? There are 3 screws there, keep them safe. So now we can get under here for the gluage. Remember, I'm using the Plastic Magic. It says in the magazine to use super glue. For the love of baby Jeebus. Okay, after all that, you can't actually get into that hole because it's sealed off. Gosh darn it. So I have to go from the top anyway. For the love of baby Jeebus, don't use super glue. If you use super glue, you can if you want, but you're just going to get sadness and unhappiness, and everything's going to be messy and horrible. So just trust your Uncle Fox. Don't use super glue. Right. Fit the tubular fitting, or as we like to say, the Graflex flash adapter or flash extender. It is a Graflex thing, the same thing that his lightsaber was made out of. It's like a big thing that you hold. It's like a, I can't remember if it's the battery pack or if it's a Graflex flash, camera flash. Professional thing, and they used it to make the lightsabers. It's also used in the construction of this greeble in the cockpit. There's interesting facts that you learn when you hang around with me. That goes in there. That. Like a... Oh, hang on. Because, again, horrible flashy nubs on the end. Now, it's not unreasonable that there'd be little bits of flash and nubs on things, because at the end of the day, we're getting these little components separated away from a sprue. So if you were making this, if this was a proper model that came on sprues, you'd have to get this off the sprue and then clean up the nubs and flash. Well, clean up the nubs and bits of gate that were left, and then you go and build it. They've taken these off sprues in a factory, in a mass-produced environment. It's not unreasonable that there'll be some little bits of sprue and stuff on, little bits of nub. Now, to be fair, they are quite minor. The nubs are really tiny. They're quite minor. So the little nubs that we do have are not really a major issue. I've left quite a few because they're almost invisible. But we are going to touch this up and repaint it and do things to it, and do it off camera as well. So yeah, the fact that you get a few little nubs here and there, I'm not holding that against them. I'm not knocking it for that, because you're getting these pieces not on a sprue, so you got to expect that. Next, fit the long detail C into the matching slot. Very well saying the longer detail C. They're not actually labelled anywhere, so it's going to be that one there. I remember on the other ones we had to add all the bits to these. On this one we don't. The long detail is there. It's got a dirty grey blob of silver paint on their side. We'll leave that. There's a nub there on the side. Now I'm going to take this little bit of a nub off here, purely for fit issues, not for any cosmetic issues. Purely for fit, it needs to be as flat as possible. So we'll just carve that away. Sanding, filing. Yeah, so I'm not going to hold it against them. There's a few bits of, nub here and there, because they're not at a workbench delicately sanding off every single nub and making it look brand new. They're doing a factory, just popping off sprues and doing the best they can to get them cleaned up for mass production. So yeah, bit of glue on this one, which is there. The old adage about square pegs and round holes. These are all round pegs in square holes. It's quite cool. That's that on. Going faster than last time now. Now we have, what's next? Fit the triangular detail D, which in no way at all is anywhere labelled D. So you can't quite tell, but never mind. I mean, they are labelled, but... right, so D is one of the triangular ones. Triangular. Going to guess it's this little one here. Yes, it's got a green dot. Green dot. What's that? 6 copyright. Stop singing, Fox. Stop singing. God. I dropped it. I dropped it. Shaking Stevens there and carried away. I could have demonetized myself. This is actually quite a, not a big nub, but it's certainly a raised edge on that surface. So I'm just going to carve it away. Yeah, I don't hold the occasional nub against them at all. Because at the end of the day, it's mass production. And there's always... What? That's not the right piece, you fool. Take that out again. Then what we do is you push that out again to make it come out. We go for this one, which is the piece that's actually not getting in my tweezers. The right shape. That one I'm going to hold against myself because that was just stupidity. Now, there we go, it's better. That is in there now. This one can be glued in place. And like I said before, we are a mixture of matte paint and shiny plastic here, but that will all be matted down when we go for painting and weathering. This will get a matte coat first and foremost. We'll mask off these clear parts here, any clear parts where there are lights, and it'll get a matte coat, and then the painting will begin. Right, hang on. Right, what's next? That piece goes in there. Then we have this piece here. This little piece goes in there. I like the fact these are slightly different colours. That's quite cool. That goes in there, hopefully. There we go, snicked. Oops, touch of glue. Yeah, so the first thing we'll do when we do the canopy, stop using the wrong words, when we do the cockpit, on the instrument panels, the first thing we will do is a matte coat. Then we'll do any weathering. And then there may be some slight touch-ups. We may have to, repaint some of these little silver ticks and little silver dots and red dots. These might get a bit dulled when we do the weathering, so we can always repaint some of these, because that's not hard. They're little raised details. The beauty of that is they are, in fact, little raised details, which makes life a lot easier. Now this little piece, which looks like a small map of Texas. which is that one. Why I say it looks like Texas. Hammond of Texas. Greetings, Hammond of Texas. Master Braytech. That's the wrong way around. Is that even the right piece? No, that's the wrong. That's Herbert wrong piece. There we go, that's the one. The one that looks a bit less like Texas. In a different way. I like the different colours, it does work quite nicely. Oh, hello. Hello. Why is my alarm going off? Stop with the stop. I've got my iPad next to me with a stopwatch on it, so I film in 10-minute chunks to avoid my camera screwing up any files. And I put it on alarm clock by mistake. 10 minutes in, oh dear. But that's not copyrighted. Right, so there you go, that's that one. That one. Then we have okay, this one's weird. This one's weird. This one here is intended. Oh, okay, this is where we have to screw the two parts together. So I'm going to skip this part for the moment. But apparently there's supposed to be a panel that doesn't fit, like it's hanging off or something. That's kind of interesting. Right, so we shall do the other sides. This side has to go here. We'll do these bits first. I'm just doing these bits now so I can get underneath and get the glue in there. That's why I've taken that piece off the bottom. I've removed my bottom piece, and I appreciate you can't see any of that. That on there, and then this one on there. I think I can figure that out without looking at the magazine. That's magazine. Bit of glue. And that's on the wrong piece anyway. Bit of glue. Bit of glue. Wondering why this is speckly. When I sprayed this, I didn't spray the interior because there's no point. Just where the spray can didn't go. And we've got a piece that goes here. The piece that I put in the other place actually goes here. Like that, you see. Like that, you see. Gets in the hole. Kaplink. Kapla. That goes in there. Yes, it does say use. For a lot of these, you don't have to actually use glue at all, but in the magazine, it does say to use super glue. Please don't use super glue. Please don't. Now we have the final detail, which is not the final, because we've got these bits. That round thing there. What's that round thing for? Now I get nervous as to why there's a round thing left at the end. Oh, we've missed a round thing somewhere. Just double checking. I'm not seeing a missing round thing. Oh, it's an LED mount. Okay, well, yes, we're doing lighting today. This piece goes here on the top, like that. Yes, it's supposed to be a stopwatch, not an alarm clock, and I had an alarm clock by mistake. That goes in there. I can barely see a hole for it, but I can just about see it. I can also get a touch of glue just underneath it. Another reason why I was happy to use the Tamiya lacquer paints to paint that is because they're not going to fall over and rip apart every time I put a tiny touch of glue over them. That bit's on there. There's actually a nub on that side, not a nub but discoloration that I've just noticed, but we'll touch that in later on. That joins up with that bit there. This is glued firmly in place with our plastic magic, which does glue the rubber details. Now we've got this little bit here. I need to screw that back together with the other half though before I can do that. So we'll put that on there. Now how did it go together? Like that. Like that. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll go and get this screwed back together and we'll do the next step. Okay, so that is screwed together. So now I just need to put this little panel on here, which apparently, which goes a certain way around. There's a little D-shaped peg and there's a D-shaped hole, but it has to go at a certain angle. It basically sits like that. I don't quite know why. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a broken panel that's hanging off or something. Meant to be that angle, but it's clearly meant to be that angle, but I don't quite know why it's like that. Now, I was going to turn this round the other way because there's a nub on the top that you can see, but unfortunately the top is the top, so I'll have to just touch that in later on with something. But yeah, weird little sort of panel sitting at askance like that. Funny little thing. Yeah. No, I can't get it in now. After going in perfectly the first time. Which refuseth. Well, I've got it upside down, which doesn't help. Hello. Yeah, right, tweezer time. It's tweezer time! There we go. That's on. I'm going to have to glue this from without. I can do it from underneath there. So yeah, funny little panel. May have some relevance later on, I suppose. But we'll find out. Quite adorable though, quite endearing. So that's there. Now again, keep in mind, it doesn't say to glue any of these panels on in the magazine, or some of them, but I'm doing this because I do intend on selling this at some point, so I need to make sure when I send it to someone, get my words out, it doesn't all fall apart. Now, we need to some lightage. So we've got this. We're going to need the cockpit piece that we had in the past. Now, we've already fitted the canopy. We can take that off. If you remember, we had this piece of the fuselage. And what we're going to need to do is, this is where I get things messed up now. Straighten the wires connecting the LEDs. We can do that bit. I'm going to move the camera out so you can get a better view. Let me just... Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. I'll be able to see things better now as I'm manhandling them. So I'm going to straighten out these wires. As always, like I've said before, when you straighten the wires, don't pull it from one end. Just pull it like that. Straighten it out so you're not unnecessarily tensioning or stretching or stressing any specific strip of the wire. Just to get them all straightened out nicely. Get these kinks who are taken out. There we go. It's string number 11, cashier number 4, please. Now, fit the clear portion of the LED into the LED mount. The wider flange going on first. Which LED? Fit the clear portion of the LED. There's an LED. There's an LED. There's an LED. Which one? Which LED am I? With what? Oh, the middle one of the three. That one. Right, okay. Use your reading face, Fox. Look at the words. Look at the words, the words. That's there. Oh, it's yellow. Or is that just the circuit inside? Could be. Feed the LED from step 2 up through the rectangular hole in the cockpit shell, which is there. Hope I've got the camera far enough out. I probably haven't, have I? Let's just find out. Feed that in through there. Carefully feed some of the wiring through the cockpit shell. Then it says plug the LED mount securely into this hole on the underside of the front console, which is here, so like that, you see. Nice fit, tight fit. Not guaranteed to never fall out, but it might not fall out. Fit the front console into the cockpit shell, gently pulling the surplus wiring back down through the hole. Yeah, okay, I get it. So we'll pull that wiring through. Already come out. Come on now. Come on, Oxford. There we go. You stay in place. I suppose the advantage is you're not actually screwing this cockpit into place, it doesn't seem, so it's not like it falls out, you can never get it back. There is some wiring. It does actually stick out there, which is a bit shonky looking. Instrument panels. Seems a bit shonky that you can see the wire hanging down like that. Are we not supposed to bend it back, perhaps? Doesn't say to bend it back. Seems a bit shonky there. You can probably see it there. The wire sticking through. Like, seems a bit shonky, doesn't it? Now these have been bendable before, so maybe we're supposed to bend it back a bit. I know not. I shall bend it a little bit, but not take it too far. And it just comes out again. Oh, do you know? Das ist nicht richtig. Right, get in, stay in, put it that way, so it's no, I don't know. That's not going to stay in place, is it? Das isn't. It doesn't say to bend it, but it feels utterly bendable. Okay, well we'll do what they say. I'll feed it this way. Actually, it's probably easier, isn't it? Just feed the wire through that way. There we go. Right. Put it through there like that. You'll see. Gets it out through the hole. Chris is laughing now. Chris is like, "Oh, Fox, you simpleton," and I'm like, "Yes, pretty much. No denial." That's the wrong way around. Goes in there. That's very strange that you can actually see the wire. I understand it's got to be there for lighting purposes, but yeah, well, right. So that goes in there. Turn the assembly over. Take the LED attached to the end of the wiring, which one? There's two of them. Plug this into the... What? Okay. This is the one... Very badly worded. The LED attached to the end of the wiring, and then it says the next one. The LED, which is the one closest to the plug. So that one is the one closest to the plug. So this one goes in this side and goes in here. You wrap the wire around like this. Neatly, it says. That goes in there. So we'll just plug that in the hole first. Very, very tight. There's nothing to... I need my tweezers, don't I, need to push this down into the hole. There we go. Oh, that's not going to go in. Not going to fit very well, is it? Oh, knocking the camera. My apologies. That's just going to come out at a moment's notice. Feed it round the side there and neatly and out of the way. There we go. Not quite long enough. I think I'm supposed to have bent that wire back because that's nowhere near long enough, and that's coming out again. I'm gonna bend that back. It doesn't say to. I think I'm gonna have to, because that's now not coming out. Good God. It's all gone wrong. No. All gone horribly wrong. Oh, that's wrapped around. There we go. Okay, that's there. Just horribly stretched, but there you go. This one needs to go in there. Now it goes in there like that. That one's a better fit. Goes on there. Push it down. That one seems to be a bit more relaxed about being in the hole. Well, almost. Push it around. Oh, very tight fit. But then again, I suppose if it's a very tight fit, that means it's not going to pop out every 5 minutes, which is a good thing. Right, there we go. That one's in somehow. If I had a hot glue gun and some hot glue, that would be a good idea right now, but I haven't. So that is in there. That is in there. That one's kind of hanging out. That one's already come off. I might tape that in place, actually. Not this one here, but it seems like such a lax, loose connection in there. Not liking that at all. Not liking that at all. Apologies if you can't see anything here, if it's just a shenanigan of hands. But that in there is really not... I don't think it's going to come out, but yeah, it's tenuous at best. What I shall do is I shall on the off chance these can't actually be seen, I take these in place to stop them falling off every 5 minutes. And if this does get covered up and it's hidden away, that's fine. I can leave the tape on there, that's not a problem. So we'll just get that there. Shouldn't get in the way of anything. I think this will be interior anyway, so not gonna cause any problems. Keine Probleme. That there. I don't like that lighting in the cockpit there. The way it's so tenuously placed and looks like it's going to come out any minute. Just doesn't seem secure or right at all. I'm sure Chris will tell me I've done it wrong, but luckily I can pop it all back out again, so it's not the end of the world. Put a tape across there. Again, just hold these in place. Ka-plunk. Oops, I'll knock the camera. Yes, knocking the camera is always the winning stage to do that. Go there to stop them moving. None of it's permanent, so I can take it all back off again if I need to. Chris will be laughing his ass off now, but why have you done that? And how? Oh, you're an idiot. I'm not denying it. Right, so they are on. They're not coming off, hopefully. They're not coming out, hopefully. And that, hopefully, will not come out. If it ever does, it's going to be a pig to get back in again without taking the whole thing apart, but I'm sure that's doable. Now it says to all 3 LEDs should come on, illuminating parts like this. Right, so let's get this in. My little test box. And we'll do a little test in the little test box. Yes, so we have lights there, lights there, lights there. Yes, now you can see here, look at that. Yeah, we'll need to do some light blocking in there, I think. Definitely do some light blocking around that bulb. Unfortunately, it'll mean unscrewing this square piece and painting the interior black. That's not the end of the world. I'll do that in a minute off camera. I'll take those off. This bit here is nicely light blocked. You've got the 2 little bits there. I can see the bulb down there. I might take this off again and just work this bulb a little bit, and yeah, it's not ideal. I'll have to bend it back a little bit so it's not so visible. So, but I shall do that. But I'll leave that there for the time being. This is everything in this episode, so we shall leave it there. The wiring is a success. I just need to go and fuss with it and make it all nice and neat and tidy. But that's going to do us for today. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, of course, if you want to get this part work yourself and do a better job of building it than I am, by God you can, then please do go to the link in the description below the video to DeAgostini Homespace. You can get it from there. Don't forget, of course, as well, if you'd like to support this channel and keep this channel alive and kicking, help me pay the bills, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/modelmakingguru and become a patron, or you can just click on the join button underneath any one of my videos and become a channel member. Either way, you're supporting the channel, you get access to content early, exclusive content, and you help pay my bills so you keep this channel alive. I depend on my patrons and members, so big thank you to them. But until next time, that's going to do it for now. I'll see you tomorrow on Friday with the final part of this week's builds. Take care of yourselves, go make something awesome, go be awesome, and until next time, adios, amigos.